Hello everybody, my name is Vaken. I forgot to make an intro to this video. I just recorded because I watched Diablo 4 Campfire chat, and this is it. Hope you enjoy. It's still very bad. I'm learning. See you in the next one. Bye. Fuck it. Let's go. I want to know what they have to say. Because they released information about Mephisto or the fucking expansion.
Welcome to Blizzcon 2023. Wow, this is crazy.
Come on, Adam Fletcher.
Seeing so many people. Very different than our
Yeah.
streaming studio back in the office for sure. But thank you all for joining us on a very special version of Diablo's Campfire Chat. We kicked off this program as a live stream, as you all know. And it's an amazing feeling to see us actually do this here in front of a live audience now at BlizzCon. We have some news to share with you, and before we get into it, I do want to welcome and learn more about our wonderful panelists here for today's Campfire Chat. So let's go right into it. Brent.
I'd be so fucking stressed out if I was on the stage
This is Brent's first
as a
time up here.
game developer.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know.
Look, it's for a very good reason. Don't worry.
Green
Break a
for-
little color tradition up here.
Green for Diablo.
Yeah.
So this is very
Yeah, so my
unscripted,
name is Brent Gibson. I'm an associate game director on Diablo 4.
very unscripted Campfire chat.
I was a part of the Vicarious Visions team that came together with Team 3 a couple years ago to make Diablo 4. And I'm really excited to be up here today to talk a little bit
Wait,
about
those are the guys that made Diablo 2,
the
right?
expansion coming up.
Yes, the expansion. Ooh.
Vicarious Vision.
Oh,
They remade Diablo 2.
Now, I know we have multiple
That was a
teams, Brent,
fucking
that
great
are working
remake.
on Diablo 4. So, and you yourself are going to be talking
Could
specifically
be wrong
about
though.
the expansion here today. So yeah, it's great to hear that, you know, we have multiple groups working on the game for Diablo 4.
But we're all one big team, which is the exciting part.
Yeah, very big team. And of course, you know, based off of community feedback and everything that we've heard, those groups are going to be working on
Just check if
seasons
the
and
microphone's
upcoming
on.
items,
It
and
is.
of course,
Okay,
the
good.
expansion that we have here. Next up, though, we actually have Tiffany, who's going to be talking here. Actually, do we have? No, we do.
Oh, hey, I'm Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah, okay.
I was not pausing for applause. I'm just awkward. But this is my 14th BlizzCon.
Yeah, programmers
It's
are.
my 9th as an employee. I first attended as a part of the community in 2005, so it's really special to be up here.
I'd be
I've
fucking
worked on the
dead if
Diablo
that was me.
franchise for 12 years now, starting on Diablo 3 12 years ago, and then moving on to Diablo 4 for the past, years. Brent and I actually unknowingly worked on the same game back in 2009, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Yeah, that game is awesome.
It's a big throwback.
So it's
Ultimate
been
Alliance?
such a thrill to work with him and a
Never
bunch
played
of the
that.
others
I don't know
from
what
the
that
Albany
is.
office, again, on Diablo 4 for the past few years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tiffany. We have Kaylee Calder here. Kaylee is actually a familiar face on the Diablo side. You may have
Yeah,
seen her
I've seen her
in some of the
in
videos,
cinematics or videos, yeah.
for our seasons and everything. Kaylee?
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Kaylee Calder, and I am one of the lead game producers on Diablo 4. Like Tiffany and a lot of our team,
Kaylee
I have
Calder.
been working on Diablo for the last 10 years across both Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. This is my first time on stage at BlizzCon, so while I am so honored, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I'm a little nervous, but it's so good to see everyone in person. And I'm really excited to talk to you all today about some changes coming to Season 2, some additions, and other future developments.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kaylee. And of course, we have Mr. Joe Shelley here, a very familiar face on all our Diablo 4 Campfire chats. Joe, welcome again.
Thank you, Adam, and
Gracias,
thank
mi
all
amigo.
of you. I really want to thank all of you for being here and
playing our
submitting
kind of
questions. We're
mid-game.
gonna take questions at the end,
Sorry,
and really
sorry.
for
I
all
won't
the
be toxic.
feedback that you've given us throughout the launch of the game and Season 1. It's incredible to have.
They have made
Campfire
improvements.
Chat, but with this huge array of other attendees at our campfire, so it's incredible.
Exactly. Thank you
They
so
went
much,
from,
Joe. And of course,
Diablo-
I am Adam Fletcher. I'm the director of community for Diablo.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Adam Fletcher. Woo.
So weird
Most
with an audience.
unscripted guy.
And I will be today's host and moderator. I want to thank you all again for taking the time to join us on this very special Diablo 4 Campfire chat. And I do also want to give a huge call out to this amazing
But the game is
plush
like
Campfire
Diablo
that
4
we
is
did
more
for
of
you
a
for
like
this.
5,
It's
maybe at
I joked
most
it's
a
got
6
very
out of
soft
10
lighting.
right now.
Oh, there we go. First pun of the day. We're already good. We're
Kind
doing
of.
well. But to kick off activities, I
Unless
know
you're
that next
casual,
week,
I think it's
we
better.
do actually have some news to follow up.
But if you wanna
regarding
nerd out,
yesterday's
then-
announcements. So let me actually pass it off to the team. So, Brent.
Yeah,
You're done
we're
in, like,
really
1-2
excited to show the
days.
sneak peek for the next chapter of Hatred. We've been on pins and needles to share some of the information from the expansion for a very long time. And it's going to be taking us to a brand new place. And it's really cool because it's actually in contrast to that dark gothic setting that we're used to seeing in the main game. We're going to go to some place that has a bit of a different flavor. So for those of you who are new to the franchise, it's going to be new, it's going to be fresh. But for some of you who have been with us all along, we're going to go take a trip down memory lane and actually go to a place that's a little nostalgic. So with that being said,
Yeah, Diablo 2, the Diablo 2 place, Act 3. Fuck. I don't remember what it's called. But this is the jungle act in Diablo 2. Crossed. And Tristram. Is it Tristram? No, Tristram. But yeah, Crossed. I saw this yesterday. Best of Hatred. Coming late 2024.
There we have it. It's so cool to see on the big stage. You know, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, coming in late 2024.
yeah.
I mean, Brent, what does an expansion mean for Diablo 4?
2020-24.
First off, I want to talk a little bit about breaking the color convention. You've been giving me
I've got green shoes
all
on.
sorts of grief over my green jacket. I like the green. Yeah, so for us, expansions are important because it's a great opportunity to take one big cohesive step forward.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to continuing our dark story, exploring
Adding
the new
more
region we're gonna talk about
content.
today, or even new ways to play with new monsters and a new class. We want to make sure that all of these things go together.
Adding more dungeons
in a
that look
really
the
nice way.
same.
And I've been joking for a little bit about how this is kind of like making a really good burger, right? You want to make sure that you're pulling in all of the ingredients that you need so that
Like
when they
Diablo
all
at
come
most
together
have like
and you take one
24
big bite, all those
different
flavors are
dungeons.
working together.
But they have
For us, that
150, I
cohesiveness
think.
is really important.
So you say burger. There are a lot of variations of burgers. There's like single burgers or like maybe a double from In-N-Out.
Fucking
or
Adam
something
Fletcher,
like
man.
that.
What is he on about?
Yeah,
You know,
what
coming
happened?
from
Yeah.
Albany, the In-N-Out, I'm down. That's great.
So what kind of burger is this?
That's a good question. You know, I guess I look
This
at
is
it
a nothing burger?
like a bacon barbecue burger with all the classic ingredients, but with like jalapenos, right? Like throw something
Very,
in that's a little
very-
bit spicy, a little bit different.
And
So
a
you
little
have-
bit green.
And a little bit green, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Apparently.
So yeah, we want to make sure that we have all the nice traditional
What are they on
ingredients that
about?
speak directly to the core of our audience, but we're also offering things that are new.
Awesome. Well, I know with Vessel of Hatred, a new expansion, there's going to be some story and lore kind of attached to it. Let's kind of talk a little bit more about story. What do you think, Tiffany?
Yeah, let's
so
talk
when
story.
we last left off in the main campaign, Nerel was traveling south with the stone with
Yeah.
Mephisto.
Yeah.
He got himself trapped in there again, as you know he tends to do.
that
She's been
Nerel?
following the footsteps of a prophet of light, looking for a way to
She's
deal
becoming
with
corrupted.
this stone and the prime evil that's
Nice.
trapped within. And she's a really fascinating character because she's a child, but she's been through a ton of trauma.
Is
So
she a
spoilers,
child,
if you
though?
haven't played the main campaign of Diablo. But here she is directly challenging the influence of a prime evil.
She's like 20,
Something the
no?
Haradrim have always famously failed at. So for players that might be jumping into Diablo 4 for the first time with the Vessel of Hatred, they'll have the choice to either play through the main campaign or jump directly into the new chapter. There will be a recap in the game, so you'll have full context to all the events of Sanctuary.
Fuck, I want to pause so badly.
So don't worry, you won't miss out on anything if you want to just see what's happening with Neyrelle and explore those jungles.
I still think that's such a weird fucking
All right,
choice of them.
He's real creepy.
Do not force you to play the story every
so this is Mephisto. Now, he is my favorite
season.
primeval. I think
That's the
he's
best part of the
a
game.
badass. If you don't know who he is the Lord
But
of
it's not
Hatred,
faster,
and he is
so
the father of Lilith. So
no one's gonna
I
play
believe
it.
That makes him
Including me.
Granddaddy of Mephisto.
Granddaddy
here.
of
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Grand Fisto?
Grand
Yeah, something
Fisto.
like that. Yeah.
Sounds grouchy too.
So Mephisto did not intend to be trapped in the stone. Like I said, they're very bad at that. It tends to happen. So he's, as you heard in the trailer, every step of the way that Neyrelle
he
is taking
gambled
with
and
him,
lost.
He is pushing against her, constantly trying to unravel every single moment that they have together. It's in this next chapter in Vessel of Hatred, we're going to find out what is his fate with this stone and what's going to happen with Neyrelle.
Yeah, so with
She's gonna
Vessel of
become
Hatred,
corrupted,
we even
and
saw it a little bit in the teaser.
she's gonna become Mephisto probably, like
taking us to a new place.
Leia.
I know you guys have actually
Diablo
mentioned
3.
Nahantu. Can you tell us a little bit more about Nahantu, Brett?
Yeah, so we're going to a whole new region called Nahantu. Now, for those of you guys
okay.
who know
So it's not crossed.
the history of Sanctuary, you know that heading south actually means going to Torjan. When we started off with the expansion, we decided as a team to really think about how we're referencing cultures moving forward. And for those of you who may not know, the Torjan people are a real people. And they're an amazing culture. They have beautiful traditions. You should totally look it up. But for us as creatives, we want to make sure that we're always in a position where we're being inspired by, as opposed to lifting from. And so because of that, we decided to review some of our names and make some changes.
So how are we kind of doing this in game?
That's really cool.
We've actually decided to fold it in creatively. So for those
You can't
of the
stop
people
saying
who
cool
are
and sick.
outside of the region, maybe you
Like-
were from the dry steppes, you know this place as
That's the only two words I use
people who are
during
there
this.
know it as Nahantu. And so
reaction.
We see that folded into the story in some really creative ways to give that name some power.
Awesome. I know we have a lot of cool art to actually show. Like right here, we're seeing kind of what looks to be like a river gate.
The art is great.
So everything starts here at the river gate. We look at Nahantu as a place that's been closed off from Sanctuary. It's been closed off from all the things that have been going on with Lilith over the last several moments of our story. And so you can imagine this monolithic statue where the doors have been closed for the last several decades, and now they're open. And we're going to see what happens with Neyrelle as she passes through these gates.
Yeah.
If you
It's gonna be
look
sick.
at this next image, we
Fuck,
like
I
to
did it
look at
again.
the jungle as this place that is a wild
I think
and
the
dangerous place.
Diablo
We
4
also
story ended
love
too
the
abruptly.
idea that it's a
Too
living,
soon.
breathing character of its own. It has its own personality. It expresses itself in different ways throughout the game. And so this concept is a really good example of where things from the outside may have come in, but the
Maybe
jungle's going
this-
to reclaim it, right? So you're going to see these branches pulling back some of the architecture that you would see through
Now,
the region. But
how
for the
much
things
is
that
this
have been there
expansion
all
gonna be?
along, It's going to live symbiotically with
$70,
watch the river flow
$80,
through the structures of the area as well.
15 minutes of 15.
You know what? This is actually one of my favorite concept pieces.
4
the
hours of
expansion
story
so far, because even though it's
for
kind of
$70.
it's an environmental scene, it really just shows the depth and scale of the jungle.
And then you can
which
play
is not
early
really like
for
a place we've ever gone
$90.
to before within Diablo 4 so far.
Fuck yeah.
And it really inspired the team as well when they saw it. Just
Yeah.
that feeling of like scale and age, I guess, is a good way of
Yeah.
describing it.
The idea that these roots are
As long
so
as it's
old
easy to traverse, then
stretch across the
I don't care.
castles in the area. You can see there's a very small character in the middle of that branch.
very hard to see.
It creates a sense of scale that
Also-
allows us to do a lot with the environment, right? So it's not just trees in the area. These trees are actually fixtures or structures of the place as well.
yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of environments, and I know there's a lot of also architecture here in Nahantu. So can you show us a little bit more about that as well.
Yeah, so this is a great image that starts to show how we wanted to integrate a lot
I wonder
of
how much
the
Adam
natural
Fletcher
features
knows,
of the world
considering he's
with
not
the
on the
architecture.
team.
So you can see how the river is flowing with and around.
I mean,
this
technically he
piece right
is, because
here.
he's the
All of this starts from a place called Kurast. So for those of you who've been with us for a while, Kurast
the fucking
is an iconic place
something.
that sits in the heart of the jungle. And it's not just a town, it's
He
not
must
just a
know,
capital,
yeah.
it's a sprawling city. So you can imagine a lot of these structural elements popping up all over the place, spreading across the
That's
entire
nice.
jungle. And this is just one piece that shows the potential of that. If you take a look at this next one, I love this.
This looks
one of my
more.
favorite
This
concepts
looks like
of the
Kurast.
entire package.
They
This is
must
a
have taken
perfect
inspiration.
example on how we're folding in that living, breathing jungle into the architecture.
Or is it
I got to
Kurast?
give a huge shout out to
Or
the team. The level of detail that we put into
Travinso?
this is absolutely incredible. They pay attention to our environments just as much as one of our characters. So all the detail that we put into Lilith or Inarius is the same amount of detail as you would see in a piece like this. So big shout out to the team for what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Now let's hope they make dungeons that aren't just linear paths. Like I want
Shared a
wide
little bit
areas.
About like Kurast, and it's a very recognizable place, like or
Oh.
in the Diablo history. Like,
Oh wait,
you can get into a
Did he
little
talk
bit more
about
detail
Kurast?
for us of like some of these maybe recognizable places that we'll kind of come across?
Yeah, I love to talk about these next few concepts here. So I was a big player of Diablo 2 myself, so you may recognize some of these places. We keep talking about bringing you back somewhere nostalgic. So we're going to start with the dock towns.
wait, so I was right.
You can visit the original Kurast docks from D2 in Act 3.
Nice.
And through time, it's changed.
Fuck
It's
yes.
been 72 years since the events of Diablo 2 in the world
72?
of Sanctuary. It has been 72 years in real life.
Yeah,
So
kind
I'm
of
excited to
almost
jump
in
in
real
there
life,
and
too.
see what the denizens have been up to, see if there's anybody
been
that's
20
still
years.
around from the past 72 years. And like Brent and Kaylee were saying earlier, a concept piece like this really gives me this incredible sense of scale in the world of Sanctuary, and I'm super
Yeah,
excited to explore
looks really
areas
nice.
like that. We know that locations like this
Oh,
really
cool.
set the tone for successfully delivering on that nostalgia and embracing that legacy of the Diablo universe.
Especially that statue on the left.
So
Now
the
they've
Capital
changed
Kurast is
picture.
something that we've always wanted to know more about. So this is a clip that's actually from the teaser that we've showed you a couple times now. And this is that incredible ziggurat with really, really creepy Grandpa Mephisto talking over it.
That
We've
must
always
be
wanted to know what's under the ziggurat. What's amazing
Ziggurat?
about this is that for the dev team, this is one of the earliest sources of inspiration when we started working on the expansion. And so seeing it make all the way from original concept into the actual teaser that we showed this weekend is really exciting. So we've got one more really, really cool place to show you. So this is the temple city of Travancore, and it's where the Haradrim originally imprisoned Mephisto in
Travancore,
his
is that what it's
It's
called?
deep
Okay.
inside Kurast, and I am so excited to
I
go
said
in there and
Travancore.
see what's happened in the last 72 years. Joe, what do you think?
I hope I don't get slowed by hostile blizzards again. but
Oh
but
yeah,
it's going to be really cool to dive
Fucking
under
mages.
Travancore and sort of revisit that area. It's such a
Yeah, the
memorable
sewers.
area from D3.
yeah.
Travancore
No,
was
D2.
super memorable. Act
You said
3,
D3.
Everyone remembering as they're fighting the council there.
Yep.
So it's great that we can revisit that here in Vessel of
And then
Hatred.
creating
Of
the
course,
flail and
a big
fucking
question I
beating
know that
the
people have with
Mephisto's.
Vessel of Hatred, does that mean a
thingy.
new class is coming?
Yes.
Brent, do you have any more info that you can share potentially?
I'm sure a few of you have been on Reddit asking questions about the new class. It's the #1 question you've been
It's
getting
going to
all
be a holy class.
You know,
But what kind?
When we started off, we were still making the main game, and I'm really proud of the fact that we delivered 5.
It's not going to be
classes, right? We got
the
that
Templar or
great
the
feeling with
Paladin.
all of them spread around the
They told us
campfire. It felt
yesterday.
really, really good. And so when we're talking about the expansion, we had a decision to make. We're kind of at a crossroads of, do we do another classic, or do we do something new?
You should have.
And
Should have made a
the
Paladin.
team really thought about it hard, and we felt we have a responsibility to actually bring new things to Sanctuary. Like, this game is really big, this world is very big, we need to continue to broaden it, and so we made the choice to go with something new.
So you're
I mean,
saying
cool.
new
That's
here.
that's cool as well. I wanted an
And we're seeing
Amazon.
a lot of jungle environments, obviously.
Yes.
So does that for sure rules out something like the Witch Doctor?
Yes, that for sure rules
Yeah,
out.
it's absolutely a brand new class. It is not the Witch Doctor.
All right. We've been hearing a lot of like, it might still
Okay,
be
so
the
it's
Witch
not in
Doctor.
Holy Class.
Like, I'm pretty sure we said new class. So awesome. That was great that we got to see kind of like and get a little bit more information about Diablo 4 Vessel of
Oh, so
Hatred.
they're not
Again,
saying
Diablo
what
4
class it
Vessel of
is.
Hatred is coming out in late 2024. We'll actually have more news next summer about Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. Green.
Green.
Great.
Going green.
I'm glad you're color coordinated for this, Brent. So, but we do want to talk more about some of the other items that we talked about in the opening ceremony yesterday. And so, Joe, I know, wants to talk a little bit about season 2 and what's
Adam is kind of buff.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
He's
you
a
know,
big
we've
dude.
had, as I said here earlier when I welcomed all of you, we've had so much community feedback, and it's been incredible for us to be able to release season 2 and bring a lot of those changes to you. And I think we have a roadmap here.
Oh, we like roadmaps.
You can see here that on the Season of Blood, some of the things that we brought with Season of Blood. If you haven't played since launch or since Season 1, you'll be able to check out the new boss ladder, leveling, 40% faster leveling.
Yeah. Midwinter
the
Blind.
changes, thank you.
It's the holiday event.
That was all me, no. We have an incredibly talented team of system designers
The
who
gauntlet?
care deeply about the player experience and the feeling of movement through the levels and being able to capture the objective of reaching level 100, right? And so that
I mean,
change is
it
something
was
that we
possible
thought was really
before, but
important.
it was just fucking tedious and
But we
boring.
also changed things like the way that item power scales, right? So that
Now
as
you
fight
might
more
get bored
difficult
at level
monsters, you can get more powerful,
90 instead of
including
70.
some of those uber uniques from Duriel.
Yes.
And so many other quality of life changes. The mount, I think, is transformed.
Yeah. The mount is
And,
way better.
You know, that's not all we have.
And it's
in
not
store
even
for season
close.
2.
Like,
we
it's
were talking
so
about
much
with
better.
in the opening
Way
ceremony, we made
faster
some
and-
announcements, and we want to get into more detail about
You
them
don't get stuck everywhere.
today. And a little bit of a sneak peek at, you can see here, season of, I'm going to say the orange text.
Yes, that's definitely a final name.
Yeah.
Final
Ship it.
name.
Okay, so wait.
We're not quite ready to release the season name, but
That's
we have a
runes.
sneak peek of some of one of the features coming.
maybe
with
someone can
leaderboards and
actually-
gauntlets. So we're really excited to talk about those. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Figure
kick
it out.
things off with some updates to season 2 that are coming really, really soon. Literally this coming Tuesday, November 7th, we are gonna be adding new unique rings, which were called the Malignant Rings.
Yeah.
Developing seasons is an opportunity for us to look for ways to bring things back that you, our players, really enjoyed and really engaged with.
I like that.
It doesn't mean that we'll bring things
I like
back
that,
from
that
every
they
season,
add
but we will look for opportunities, especially when
like a
community
watered
is
down
letting us know
version.
how much they enjoyed it, and also we also had a lot of fun with these. This also is an opportunity
Of the
for us
previous
to
one.
kind of revisit those
Like the
powers,
Malignant
because these are
Hearts were
coming not
kinda
just onto the
boring,
season, but also to
unless
the
you were a
Eternal
necromancer.
realm. So these powers you're about to see on these rings, we've tweaked them
blight.
slightly so that they
Course
work with
explosion.
the other uniques in the game, but we feel they're really going to add something for each class and kind of continue on building their kit and that fantasy. You're going to be able to get these by defeating Varshan, so I hope everyone's been saving their materials. You do have a little bit of time to farm more.
Who's for
if
Sean?
you didn't.
Oh yeah, that guy,
So
the
yeah,
vampire.
with
No,
that said, we're actually going to move to the next
yeah,
image,
zombie
and
guy.
we're going to take a look at these. So I originally was going to talk to Brent about his robe, but
Subterfuge.
when we started doing this, he saw the barbarian ring and switched
I
on me.
I'm sorry. I went
Just
through
the
the whole.
worst.
This-
But
the
so
stats
for
are
our
just
rogues
ordinary
out there,
stats,
for
but
those
the
of
rest-
if use your subterfuge skills. It's going to spawn a
does
decoy,
these scale to
it's gonna
925
spawn,
though?
Enemies, and then it's going to explode for a really nice amount of damage. Think you're going to have a lot of fun. Adam, this is for you and the rest of the sorcerers out there.
Yes, Ball Lightning Crew. Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe hopefully, maybe this will, you'll try something a little different than just ball lightning.
Ball
For the
lightning is
sorcerer,
too
each
overpowered
unique
to try
element
something
that you
else.
deal damage with is going to give you increased damage, and then dealing elemental damage again is just going to refresh that duration. So, sling fireballs, lightning, lightning ball as well, and keep increasing that damage. We have 3 more classes to take a
I
look
don't like
at.
those flat increases.
So next up now is the Barbarian. So for our Barbarians out there, when you use, there you are, I knew you were out there
The only one.
when you next cast Hammer of the Ancients, Upheaval, or Death Blow, it's guaranteed to be a crit. And that crit's gonna deal bonus critical strike damage as well.
After spending 100 GRE, okay,
Exactly,
sure.
so hit them hard and hit them often, guys. And I definitely know there's a few druids out there, you guys who don't want to forget about you, exactly.
Oh, Druid's got the loudest crowd here. Yeah.
They should have made
So for Druid, when
Hurricane
you're casting
more
the
of an
ultimate
ability,
skill,
not just
It
something
is going to
you
draw
use
enemies in and deal
the
a huge amount
vulnerable
of damage based on your
to make
willpower.
enemies
It will do
vulnerable.
that when you cast your ultimate and then 5 seconds after.
But the
And then
ultimate skill's
lastly, the
boring.
Necromancer.
Necromancers, rise up!
There
That's
they
right.
are. There's actually 3 Necromancers up here because 3 of us are playing it this season. Total coincidence. So we all love this power. We know everybody else loved this. So we are bringing back
Yeah.
that walking near your corpses.
Yeah.
It's
That-
going to automatically activate
this
one of
had
the
to happen.
following skills, which is Corpse Tendrils, Corpse Explosion, or Raise
This had to
Skeleton.
happen.
So yeah, that is
Because
that's gonna
this
be
made the
Malignant Rings,
Necromancer.
and as we said, you're
This
gonna be
made
able
the
to get
Necromancer play
Healing Bastion
so
starting on
fucking
November
good.
7th. So next week, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so
Like-
much, Kaylee. And again, we're super excited about
So yeah,
bringing in these
that
more
needed to
powers
happen.
from
Yeah.
Season 1. Thanks to community feedback and you guys actually wanting these powers back
Yeah.
in, we were able to get these in these new rings that will be coming out on Tuesday.
So Necromancer,
and again, patch notes
that's a win.
actually are going to be available on Diablo4.com for that patch immediately after this panel, so you guys can actually see what's in that update for players on Tuesday, which is awesome to see. So, but we do also have some more information to talk about.
Even more
Yes,
stuff. So
we have some more events taking place in early December. Kaylee is going to jump right in.
I'll kick us off. Yeah, December 5th is our next update for Season 2. And we've got some additional updates coming in, some quality of life things, and then something Joe is going to talk about. But I'm going to talk about some additional changes to the Occultist. Chris mentioned this yesterday in opening ceremony. So for those of you who may not know, enchanting is what allows you to replace an affix on an item with another. And those that are familiar with it will notice when you go and visit from December 5th, there is a new view affix, possible affixes button. I can't remember it. Yeah, view possible affixes. And when you click on that, it's going to give you a list of the affixes that
That's
one will
good.
roll into.
I wish
So
you
that
could
way you're not
change
kind
more
of just
stuff than
blindly
just one stat,
guessing and
though.
hoping that the one you've picked is going to give you.
'Cause this
But
is
we think
very bare
this
bound.
update, along with the gold changes we have made, is really going to help everybody optimize their builds and
Cool. Yeah. This is
continue
a
to
good
have fun in
addition.
the
Yeah.
endgame. We have also heard feedback about affixes and how some of them aren't serving you in the ways you want. We do have plans to talk about both changes to affixes and itemization in the future, but we're not quite ready to talk about it right now.
Yeah, that's right. This is a really important change, and itemization
It is.
one of
Because
the
Diablo 3 had
items
it,
in Endgame
there
are
is
the
no
two
reason
things
for
that
Diablo
we're
4 not to
focused
have
on
it.
Right now. We're going to talk a little bit more about that right up here next with Avatar Zir.
Yeah, and you know, it's awesome to see these occultist changes because obviously community feedback has been, we've heard you guys like that it, you know, blindly choosing different affixes has been very, very difficult, but with the changes with the cost plus this will be much better, and this update, of course, hitting on December 5th. But other feedback that we've heard a lot about, and Joe knows this as well, has been about Endgame. And so I know you wanted to talk a little bit
Yes,
about
it's lacking.
a new
It's very
kind
lacking.
of Endgame feature that's coming in Season 2. So Joe, yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, so we want to add more endgame, and then we want to add some more endgame,
Avatar
and
Seer.
then
Some more?
Avatar.
we're going to add more endgame.
Yeah, we're going to add some more after
That's
that.
right,
Okay,
that's
okay,
right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And in particular, permanent or evergreen endgame features that extend the challenges and reward opportunities from 50 to 100 and after you've reached 100. And so Avatar of Zir is a 100 plus new thing that we're trying here. This is a seasonal endgame event.
Okay.
So it's temporary, And we're really
Is that
interested in
like a creator rift?
paying attention to how all of you run through it and your feedback on it for the future of, maybe we'll bring it back. We'll see how it goes. But you probably want to know more about it than just staring at this red portal, right?
Yeah.
So,
One person.
we
and
have
me.
a chart that used to be on a napkin, but
It's very
That's a
beautiful.
This
great
is
chart.
when you work with a bunch of designers, they like to make these little flow charts.
Very
and
complete
then they hand them to you on a napkin and
Yeah.
they go, can you make them pretty so we
Yes.
can show them to
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
So
yeah,
designer flow charts.
paint for life.
Yeah. This is flow chart. Yeah.
But so
I've
you
seen
can see
many of
here
these.
how the flow of Avatar of Zero will work. After you complete the final step of the season journey, you'll be ready to face off against the Avatar. And this is a very, very difficult area. You're going to need to bring all of your skill, but also you're going to need to bring the very best builds. Not every build is going to be able to succeed in Avatar Zero. And that's why it's positioned like after you've really done.
Oh, so this is like an Uber thing.
Defeated Duriel, you've got your Uber uniques, and you're like, what's next? What can I?
Oh,
what's the next
wait.
challenge, right?
So this
The
is
Avatar
actually
can't
the
do
first
that.
Uber
So
boss.
You're going to get a recipe for the first tier of
Is
Avatar.
Lilith, sure, she's
When
an
you
Uber
complete
boss,
that
but this
first
is like an
tier,
Uber
You're
Uber.
going to get a recipe for the next tier, and
Or
I want to
maybe
state
not.
that there are 25 tiers of Avatar of Zero, and that's fewer tiers than there are of Nightmare Dungeons. But each tier of the Avatar is much more difficult than the tier before. This is not the same as Nightmare Dungeons 70 to 71, and you're also going to get a ton of Paragon Glyph XP. So I know some people have expressed that
That's
it can
good,
be hard
because
to level up all your glyphs.
it takes a
through Nightmare
long
Dungeons,
time
that
to fucking
you're gonna
grind
get so much from this event. And you're going to need it because you're going to want
Paragons.
to level up this new unique glyph that you can
Or
get as
glyphs.
a reward for completing the Avatar. This glyph, the Tears of Blood, is tied to the event and is also persists during the duration of the
Of course,
event.
that's part
But it will be incredibly useful for increasing your character power so that you can take on those tougher tiers of the Avatar. You can see that it has a larger radius than other glyphs. It can grow even beyond that.
At level
It has,
50?
multiplicative powers on it, and it can be leveled up to 200 times. So it
Holy
is still a
fuck.
capped level, but it has a lot of
So
progression in it.
I don't know about that one, bro. That's gonna be grind as shit though.
Here,
No?
December 5th, we got the Occultist updates and Avatar Zero, which is the end game that we just talked about that. And
I mean,
that will run
that's
through
more to do,
the
sure.
end of Season 2. So players can expect, to be able
Sure.
to go through that starting on December 5th, which is great to hear. But we also have even more events in December that we do want to talk
Will I
about.
play?
One that's a little
Probably
bit more
not,
festive.
but let's see.
We mentioned it yesterday. Kaylee, I know you want to talk a little bit about Midwinter Blight.
Yeah, so for everyone that doesn't live in California, this time of year can be darkening and colder. You might get
Not as dark as
snow
here.
or lots of rain.
Like where I'm from.
Yeah, where you're from, basically. You're going to need the winter clothing as you return to.
Oh, she was talking about everywhere else
Fractured
except
Peaks
California.
on December 12th, where the Midwinter Blight is taking place. As you return, you're going to find that it's been enveloped in a storm. It's freezing out the locals. It's eternally dark, and
Oh,
there
it's
are new
Sweden.
horrors lurking, waiting to, make your lives and the
And Norway.
inhabitants miserable. So yeah, I hope you brought some ice scrapers with you. Maybe help us get out here.
Yeah, we're working on a special Diablo ice scraper. Reaching out to
Iceland,
Johnny
of
Miller to see
course.
if we can get that marketed. As soon as we can,
Definitely. Okay. So it's going to start in Kyovashad, and you're going to meet Gillian, a wandering bard, and he's here to try and bring some cheer and warmth, which you can see in the video as we go to that. And he is located in the Hibernal Square.
I didn't
and
know you
he's
could
given
pet the
as
dogs.
well a warning of the
Like, that's
storm and the
unbelievably
terrors lurking within.
unnecessary.
And as you can see, this is a classic Diablo holiday space, decorated mostly in skulls. Which we find very festive on the team, personally.
Part of me kind of knew.
Yes, and at its center we have the
'Cause I think
Totem
they
of
told us
Midwinter, which
that
plays a part in
in
the event itself, but I'm not going to spoil that, and we'll kind of go into that.
Another
so what's
Campfire
happening
chat?
outside Kyovashad? You're going to head back out into Fractured Peaks, you're going to explore the zone, and you're going to encounter some sinister snowmen, or what demons consider snowmen, that we're calling frigid husks, which Yes, they're beautiful.
Awesome.
Yes, very beautiful. I will note, I don't actually know if Rod
Okay,
Ferguson,
what the
our GM,
fuck?
is here.
Cool.
He is making me insert this wonderful pun.
It's all Rod.
He was like, as soon as he saw him, so Rod Ferguson, trademark pun.
Where's all the gruesome
Rob
stuff?
seemed
I
to
mean,
go
this is
man
gruesome.
when he,
Don't
like,
get me
did all
wrong,
the-
but
You were meant to
like
sing that.
Diablo
Yeah.
2 had boobs and shit.
No.
No, we're not
No,
gonna.
I
Okay,
don't
no,
For this
no,
game,
we're
no?
mixing the
Yeah.
singing. No singing. Okay. All right. So who's building these? I mentioned demons. So you're gonna see some familiar
Like
faces.
Andoriel.
But they're under a new allegiance. These blight fiends
The Harpies.
have new tricks, new ways to terrorize and harass both you and the locals. And they're just generally causing mischief and terror under the orders of their leader, who is the red-cloaked horror. He lives in the darkest corners of Fractured Peaks, emerging only with the storm. And he is going to, you know,
Oh, it's a
be
goat man.
really, really
Okay,
mad at
so
anyone
I've
disrupting
seen
his
this guy
plans,
before.
and he's going to try and make you dead. I think he looks really jolly, personally. I'm a big fan.
Is this the reskin?
Another
Okay.
Rod
Oh,
Ferguson
yes,
pun.
here we go.
And this one I will sing.
Oh,
I will.
God.
I will.
Okay.
Rudy the Red
You won't
Cloak
probably-
Terror.
Oh, God.
There we go. All right.
Oh.
Leaving now. We're
But
done.
he doesn't even have a nose.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I know. Rod has the worst puns. We know
Okay,
that. So.
all right.
If this guy
What
isn't
are you gonna be
isn't
doing?
big,
You're gonna be,
you're not even gonna
heading
notice
out into
that
Fractured
this guy is
Peaks.
looking different.
So we're gonna bring up a video with some of the kind of gameplay a little bit here. You're gonna encounter the blight fiends having a
Okay.
really jolly
So
time.
Fallens.
You know, there they are.
Christmas
They
tree.
are just the cutest little, like,
Yeah. Well, we're
need
gonna
them-
ruin their
Can you
day.
murder them?
Yes, exactly.
Snow globe of these.
Murder, destroy those snowmen.
Oh, so it's a bonus,
and you're gonna engage
event.
in a number of events that are unique to Midwinter Blight, destroy frigid husks, defeat the Blight Fiends, and if you disrupt things enough, you may end up summoning the Red-Cloaked Horror himself, who's, as I said,
Okay, so he is big,
very annoyed
but
with you. And participating in these is
still a
going to give
reskin.
you resources that you can take back to the Hibernal Square, to
which is
progress the
fine.
event,
Sure, it's fine.
And yeah.
And some rewards.
Right, the rewards, because what's a festive
But it would've
event
been
without
nice if they
presents
added
and
more
gifts and, you know, things in general. So we have a number
Different-
of
different
new
monsters.
cosmetic rewards that you'll be able to earn through participating with on the event itself. So these are selection of weapons, and then we also have some really cool back trophies. I really like them. They've got bells, and there's some wreaths and lots of skulls, because we do like that here. We have a theme, and we're going to stick to it.
Give us
So
a
this
new
starts on
portal.
December 12th.
Give
Really
us
hope everyone
wings.
comes and
The fuck?
slays with us.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Give us
Got
some
one
wings.
in.
Pun.
There
There
we
You
go.
can't see these.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
They
So,
clap for it. Good.
no, I was not expecting that actually. But yeah, so yeah, that's Midwinter Blight.
Awesome. It's great to hear
All right.
more information
Midwinter
about
Blight.
all these updates coming in.
Midwinter
and, Midwinter
Blight.
Blight's great because community feedback has been, we've heard a lot of people wanting more
Yes.
cosmetic
Midwinter,
options. And so now
maybe?
you have the ability of actually unlocking some skulls, some bells, some holly. That you can actually incorporate to your character with Midwinter Blight. But all this information is going to be available again on a blog on Diablo4.com after the panel. And we're looking forward to getting all these updates in everyone's hands for Abattoir Zir, the Occultist updates,
Yeah.
and of course Midwinter Blight. But moving on,
Now-
we do have additional information to talk about Season of the Orange Text, as you called it.
That's right.
Okay,
Joe.
I was gonna say
So
this
Joe,
wasn't
can you
as
tell us a little bit
action-packed
more
as the World of
about,
Warcraft
what's
deep
coming
dive,
there?
but
Yeah, so
maybe now.
more endgame.
More in-game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leaderboards. What else? More in game. That's good.
This is such a cool piece. This is relevant to the season, and I'm excited to find out what happens with this guy.
More
But,
reskin mobs.
I want to talk a little bit about one part of season 3, and there will be many more parts of season 3. We're going to talk about these more in future Campfire chats.
Wish death
but we
upon
wanted
me.
to talk a little bit about leaderboards, leaderboard-driven trials.
He wants it.
This guy wants
That
it,
guy over
and so
there.
we're going to make it.
this guy.
We weren't going to make it, but.
Fuck yeah.
And so the way this is going to work is when Season 3 players reach World Tier 4,
We're being funny.
they're going to be
I
able
like
to
that.
compete in the Gauntlet, which is a fixed seed, non-linear dungeon where your mastery and your skill are going to be needed to achieve the highest scores. And those best scores are going to appear on the leaderboards.
Yeah.
Now,
Finally.
every time you enter the gauntlet, it's going to be exactly the same. That means the monsters and their positions, the layouts,
Oh wait,
the
so
affixes.
only
And because it's
the gauntlet.
non-linear, you have some choices about how you're going to progress through to maximize your score. And of course, if you're playing in a party, you can choose like which direction each party member is going to go, and you really have an opportunity to optimize it. Loot will drop at the end of the timer, so you don't have to worry about picking it up on the way.
you should have a leaderboard for war
as you're
first
killing
as well.
monsters
Level
and you're
100.
opening chests, you're going to get instead these pickups called proofs of might. They drop from all of this types of content, and you'll have a limited amount of time to collect as many as possible to maximize your score.
Or maybe that's only
So at the beginning of each week, a new
what
gauntlet
I
is
want.
going to replace the current one, and the leaderboards will reset. Now, this is an image of the solo barbarian ladder we can see here. I want to caution that it is in development content, so some things may change by the time we get to season 3, but we wanted to show off, to really give all
Now
of
I have a
you,
hard time to see
an
what the fuck
idea,
is
a
going
visual
on here.
idea of like how this is going to play out.
Leaderboard rank
And you can also see
641.
on this
Okay.
next image that we have a number of filters.
Alright,
So
here we
there
go.
are solo leaderboards for each class, as well as party leaderboards that vary with party size. Of course, hardcore leaderboards. And then when you look at the leaderboards, you'll be able to filter
Where's
them
the solo so fun,
globally
though?
or by platform. You can filter by your friends or your clan.
So I know I'm better than Bran.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm right here. You don't have to talk to me. If you played Barb, you would be able to.
ooh.
Like, just
But
give the
necros are
the
better,
players
that's
like
why
a
we have
special
them.
flair before. If they don't accept the
So,
party invite
I
and
mentioned
shit,
that these leaderboards will reset every week, but the very best players
They still have
on
it.
each week's leaderboard are going to be recorded in the Hall of Ancients. This is a permanent leaderboard that will cement their legacy. And you don't just have to be the very top ranking on the leaderboards to participate in the gauntlet. All World Tier 4 players will be able to take their shot at participating in the gauntlet and progressing to the leaderboard.
So that means
Okay.
you don't have to be level 100 to participate at all.
No, you don't. In fact, if you look at this wonderful UI that we have up here, you can see that as you're leveling up and competing in the gauntlet and getting higher and higher score, you'll earn these seals. And as you are earning these seals, you'll be able to climb up until eventually you get to the seal of the worthy, and then you'll be able to jump into the leaderboard. And you can show these off on your character profile and game.
but who would ever look at the character
And
profile?
I know with leaderboards that coming in season 3, with all the information that we've been sharing here, again, I'm just reminding everyone that you can end up checking all this out on the site afterwards. We'll have all the artwork up
I don't
there.
know, I'm
And of
conflicted.
course,
I don't
all
know
the
if this is
information
what
we
players wanted
provided
when
you
they
on the
talked
expansion stuff will
about,
end up being
like,
there.
a
And
leaderboard.
I just want to remind everyone in the
Maybe, I don't
community
know.
that, thanks to you
Personally, I
guys
don't
and the
really care.
feedback that we've actually gotten in for Diablo 4, we've been able to, we were able to get
Because I will never
all
be
these
on the
amazing
leaderboard
changes in.
anyway,
So
but-
providing that feedback through our forums, through social media, through Reddit, wherever you post at, let us know. Even here at BlizzCon, it's a huge help for the whole entire team. So thank you guys again. Thank you, Diablo community, for
But if
for
this
making
is what people
the game
want-
a better experience for everyone.
Cool.
I know we do have some time for Q&A as well. We did leave a question box out in Hall A, which is the Diablo Hall here at
it's
BlizzCon.
vetted.
And then, of course, we asked on social media
Is this
for
an April
questions
Fool's-
through our fans. That
Is this an
did not
out-of-season
attend
April
BlizzCon.
Fool's joke?
But we grabbed.
That's
the
probably
ones that
why
seem
they
to
don't
be
have a
pretty-
live
pretty
Q&A
regular
or
repeats specifically. So we'll kind of just jump right
Yeah,
in on
audience.
them. The first question, I think this one would be good for Kaylee. Will there be more intermediate progression dungeons and bosses between Tier 4 and Uber Lilith?
Yeah, so we had this question a bit, and the short answer is yes. We've already started doing this with the boss ladder, Uber Duriel, and we're looking for even more opportunities
Where's Andoriel?
with which to give everybody things to tackle as they're working their way towards Uber Lilith, as well as, things for people to pursue once they defeat Uber Lilith. So yes, and as we develop those, we will share more information, probably in more Campfire chats or on Diablo4.com.
Awesome, thank you, Kaylee. This one's an expansion question. So Brent, I will give this over to you. Will there be a season journey when expansion launches?
Yeah, we know we have a large community with players who like to play in a bunch of different styles.
The fuck is
So
the season
when
journey?
Vessel of Hatred launches, we're going to have stuff for Eternal
Oh,
players.
yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to have seasonal content. We're going to have people who want to continue to play vanilla, people who want to jump into the expansion. Basically, we're going to have something for everybody to have fun with.
Cool. Thank you, Brent. Tiffany,
That was
this one for
kind of a
you.
non-answer.
Will we have a system to save
Maybe?
and switch between builds? A very popular
Very
question.
popular question.
Like the
So the reason Adam says this is a great question for me is because I ask Joe this all the time. It's something I'm also very, very passionate, myself and lots of the development team and lots of the community is very passionate about.
I don't think we should be able
for
to.
those of you that play Diablo 3 are very familiar with the armory. This is something that we brought to the game in patch 2.5. And so we've been talking about it for a very long time. There's so many.
I think it should be as it is right now.
activities, like so
Or
much
maybe
more
if you
activities within
pay
the
like a
group.
hefty
There's so many
price.
different things to be doing, whether
Sure.
you're playing by yourself, playing with the group, PvP, et cetera, et cetera. There's Paragon
I'm
board
conflicted on this.
customization, there's build customization, there's outfit customization, what gear you're wearing. So we want to be able to have an easy way to switch
Kinda like
between
dual
those so
spec
you can
in
keep playing and keep,
Wrath.
min-maxing all of your experiences while you're in the game. So we have nothing to announce in terms of when it's coming, but it's something that we're talking about all the time and hoping to bring to Diablo 4 as soon as we possibly can.
I don't know.
Awesome. I know it's
If
a thing
people
that
care,
a lot of,
then sure.
a lot of people in the community have been asking for, and being able to switch between.
But what's the
different
box
builds
price
and
of the
have that experience.
expansion?
It's something that the team most definitely is working on.
Maybe they
next
actually
question
did
we
release it
have
on
is,
Battle.net.
from someone
I
who's
don't
actually
know.
attending here at BlizzCon and is actually a content creator, was in our opening ceremony as
in
well.
the opening ceremony
was
reel.
from Don the Crown, and I think he actually made like a decision to come to BlizzCon like 24 hours before BlizzCon started.
So he could be here right now.
He could be here right
We just
now.
really
but
wanted to ask this question.
yes, exactly. But I will say this question also came from a lot of people. But Don the Crown asked, do you intend to add more sources of living steel to the game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that grinning demon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the fuck
yeah,
Livid Steel
no,
is.
it's, that particular summoning material, it's
It
certainly
escapes
heard
my
and
mind.
experienced doing Helltides. Feels
Oh,
much
yeah.
more stingy
Fucking
than the other
Helltide
summoning
thing.
materials. And so we want to make some improvements there. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so expect improvements coming down
That's
the pipe
good.
for that. And
Just-
by the way, I just want to thank everyone for
Yeah.
not putting your names in the box because I would have completely screwed up half the names in there,
Yeah,
as I
so would
normally
I.
do. So I appreciate people who do not put their names on there. You're the best.
Two
Last thing I
Adams.
need to do is butcher that. in front of,
Butchering
like
name.
5,000 people. Will
butchering
the
names.
expansion feature a group finder or global chats? As social features, I know we've heard a lot of questions about Brent.
Yeah.
I don't
social's
think
a
it
really big
should.
part of the game, and we see what everybody's doing with how they're leveraging trade chat.
Maybe-
to kind of
maybe
work around
like,
some things. Our social team finds this incredibly important, right?
Okay.
Like, we got a lot of different ways to play the game, and we want to make sure that all of your community
Maybe like a notice board
and come together. And so we
in the
gotta-
city?
We actually have to really get some tools in there to get to that point where everybody has a really smooth.
But the global chat,
social
that
experience.
should
And so our goal is to make sure that
absolutely
we get,
happen. Kind
as
of.
many of those tools in place before we actually get to the expansion.
Yeah, and I really
think.
want to make a special call out to, we have an entire part of our team who are focused on social and the player experience, and they are so dedicated and so enthusiastic and are just amazing people to work with, and they're paying attention to the things that everybody's talking about and need and trying to figure out the best plan to get those kind of things to you in the best time frame.
Awesome. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Kaylee. And then we have a kind of a last question here. This is from Knox, wherever you are here at BlizzCon.
That's me, Darth Knox.
What are your plans? There we go.
There we
That's
go.
We
not
found
me,
him.
but
What are your plans for itemization moving forward? A
Good question.
Very, very popular question.
yeah,
Well,
this is a good
Big
question.
for Joe Shelley.
Yes.
do we have a panel after this? Or?
Add more things.
No, this is a very serious.
Over 900 item level.
And while
Add
we're not
more- one
ready
more
to
stat.
share all of the plans for itemization,
Make
that
more
we have
interesting
before, the team is
prefix.
working on
Stats and
the problems
shit.
that we see with itemization right now, right? I think I was watching, what was that, Carbot video, I think, recently. And
Carbon is great.
Love his
you
animation.
get, the character gets 2 items, and they're trying to compare it, and pulls out his sort of monocle, and he's going through it. It's too difficult right now to compare items. It takes a lot of time, and we want to make that better. We also
Loot
want
filter.
there are some affixes that are very conditional or have several layers of conditionality. Sometimes this gets, shorthand for this is a damage on Tuesdays, right? Like, yeah, really good on a couple days from now, it'll be incredible. But we think that there are too many of those that have really complicated conditional
Yeah,
effects, and
give
it's
me
really
loot
hard to
filter,
build.
so I
Bring
don't
those
have to
into
look at the
builds,
item.
and it contributes,
Really.
as Kaylee was saying earlier, to a feeling of having it be very difficult to customize your items in a way that lets you get exactly the affixes that you want on your build.
Get
So
that
that's
build you're looking for, you know?
exactly. So that's something that we want to review. We also know that when you are optimizing your gear, the goal of that is to have the effect be that you feel that power. So you are customizing your gear, and then you go out and you want to be able to visually tell immediately, like, yeah, this made a difference, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also want to add more ways to modify items and add on additional complexity to items, sort of through, this is often talked about in the context of crafting, right? Better ways to modify items in that way, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm going to throw another question at
okay.
you, though, because there has
Loot
been
filter?
a lot of talk about the amount of aspects that are within the game. And
Yeah.
so, you know,
Oh yeah. Upgradable aspects.
for
If I
aspects
load something, then that should be
So
upgraded.
it's going to take us a little bit of time to get this right. Probably won't see it in Season 3, but soon after that. But we want to get the aspect
What is
crystals out
taking
of
so
your
long
inventory
for their?
and into the Codex of Power.
Oh, yeah.
I think
That's
they
good.
agree with that. I think they quite like that.
That's good. Why is it
I'm
taking
glad.
so long?
We're starting work on it right now, so we'd have to go back. But no, the Codex
Oh, yeah,
of Power
Season 3 is almost out.
really a great
So.
repository of all of the legendary powers, or it should be.
But it doesn't have to be there on
And,
release. They could add it mid-season.
For upgrading it or bringing affixes that you found, and we just really want to make that better. Yeah.
Great. That's awesome to hear. I know a lot of
Good.
people are
Yeah,
excited
that's
to
good news.
have an area where all their aspects are, as opposed to, you know, where we are right now with collecting everything for aspects.
I don't know. I'm still conflicted about Diablo
Kind of
3,
running
4.
back to the stash and putting them all in there and everything. So
Yeah.
there we have it for the Diablo 4 Campfire chat. We do have a lot of awesome things coming down the road, and I do want to remind everyone that, you know, this
Thank
Tuesday
you. See you in
we have an
Sanctuary.
update with 5 new Malignant rings that will be hitting the game. You can farm Varshan to earn.
Yeah, the rings are a good
those
addition.
specifically,
Get those
and
rings.
and those rings are an eternal and seasonal, which is great to hear as well.
Yeah.
And then of course on December 5th we have
I don't know
our,
why people play
Abattoir of Seasons.
Eternal.
Google Abattoir if you
But
don't know what that is.
sure.
I did.
It's a slaughterhouse.
It's a slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
Cultured Adam. And then we also have cultist updates hitting on December
Yeah.
5th. And of course, December 12th, we have our first holiday event hitting Diablo 4,
Yeah.
which is Midwinter Blight, where players can actually end up earning a ton of different new cosmetics. You know, dress your character up in some bells, some wreaths, holly,
Get
etc.
very festive.
Exactly, get very festive. And I did want to remind everyone that we do have a Diablo Blood drive that is currently running. If you go to diablobloodharvest.com, currently the community is at 73%
Oh,
to the goal. Once we hit 100%,
Good job, everyone.
everyone gets some
Yeah.
rewards. Good job.
Great cause as well.
It's for an awesome cause. You know, we're aiming to have 666 quarts of blood
Of course
donated.
we
So
are.
of course, gotta stay with the theme. So make sure to check out the site for more information. Panelists,
We
you
just
have any
wanted to
parting
say
words?
thank you for coming to BlizzCon and watching online. We love Diablo and we love you.
Good to hear. I love you too.
I can't wait
Cute.
to get back in front of everybody here and have more to talk about with the expansion in the future. So I look forward to seeing you all in Sanctuary.
I mean, in general,
You know, I just want to
Okay.
thank all of our passionate players, and you know, we listen to everything that you're saying, and it's been so awesome to reveal Season of Blood and be able to bring some of those changes back, and then to come here and to be able to tell you about all the things that are, more things that are coming in Season of Blood and in future seasons and in Vessel of Hatred.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, I just want to say thank you everyone for making this an amazing experience to be up here. Also, hi Mum and Dad, surprise, yes, I'm on the panel. I didn't tell them. But I mostly want to call out our amazing team, who many of them are working here at BlizzCon, who may have met down in Hall A, they're doing signing, and everyone who's is actually still back at the office, or well, would be, it's the weekend, they're not working. But everyone across all the
weekends,
that we have
crunching.
across the team in general.
Awesome. And I just want to thank everyone here. Thank you guys, everyone here, everyone at home.
Community manager, that's his fucking title, of course.
BlizzCon. We're so happy to have you here, and we hope you guys come see us while BlizzCon's still going.
So yeah, I wonder if he knows everything.
And we'll see you in the next Campfire chat. We'll have more Campfire.
I've been thinking about that the whole video.
And have an amazing BlizzCon, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Sanctuary.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, this was a decent panel. Now, I don't know if the hardcore Diablo fans, like I'm a big fan of Diablo. I am. But I'm not that... I don't know how to word this, but I'm not like the super guy, you know? I'm not the best at the game. So I don't know what the people want. But yeah, I see this as like a pretty good change, all in all. Anyhow, thanks for watching.